Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you something that I used to do back in the day when I was barely getting into kind of like IT and, messing around with networks and stuff like that. So, that one thing that I'm going to show you is how you can actually use a regular home router. So, this is a home router slash Wi Fi access point. Now, what I would do with these is, let's just say I have, of course, you might have, something like this as well, running your internet. Well, you could go right ahead and use another one of these to technically set up another access point. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to configure your main router that basically controls the internet, and kind of like some of the change, or not really the changes that you'll make in there, but more of the information we're going to have to grab, and then some of the settings you'll have to turn off on this other router. Now, I will warn you, if you want to run, let's just say another access point on, let's just say, a couple of feet away, or, it's like one side of the house doesn't really have good Wi-Fi, you will need to run a network cable to that location. Now, if a network cable is not available for you, you can use some other options. What I used to use back in the day was this product called Powerline. So I'll go right ahead and basically leave a link in the description where you can actually find that. All right, so now that that's taken care of, let's go right ahead and get this started. Now that we're actually on our computer, I'm going to be remoting into technically the main router. So, of course, to find that stuff out, you will have to bring up the command line. Now that you have the command line open, you're going to go right ahead and type in ipconfig. Now, what this is going to do, it's actually going to go right ahead and tell you some information on your network. So what we actually want to get is, of course, the default gateway. Now, I will tell you this. The IP address that I have might not be the same one that you have. So you might want to go right ahead and, follow along and get all this information. Okay, so here I can see that I have an IPv4 address. That's actually going to be my computer's IP address. And then in the bottom, I do see the default gateway. So that's going to be router number 1. So let's go ahead and access this router by typing in that IP address for the default gateway. Okay, let's go ahead and type in, of course, the IP address. It'll be 192.168.1.1. Now, to get the password for your router, it just depends what type of router you got. So if you're a little bit more tech savvy, most likely you went right ahead and actually created a password for this. If not, if this is kind of like, let's just say an AT&T, maybe a Spectrum router, just a regular ISP one, then that information should be in the back of your router. So once you're inside of the router, I'm going to show you a couple of things first. So if we go to Wi-Fi settings, you do see that technically the Wi-Fi name, I just basically put router 1. So just FYI. So router 1 would be, of course, the main router. Now, here's what we need to make sure that there's no IP conflicts or anything like that. So let's go to connectivity. So just FYI, the menu might be different from what you're doing, but at the end of the day, what you're trying to get to is actually the local network portion of it. So it might be in a different location depending on your router. Here we can actually see the DHCP server. We also see some more info, this is really helpful because we want to know exactly where the IP address start. If a new device comes in, what's going to be, the range that they're in. So the startup IP address is going to be, of course, this is just our network address. So 192.168.1, and then it's going to be from 100 on. So we already know that from 192.168.1.2 all the way to 99, the DHCP server will not be sending out those IP addresses. Now, why do we need this information? Well, because we need to set up a static IP address on this other router. So just keep in mind, most likely the IP address that I'm going to be using for this router, for the secondary router, is going to be most likely 192.168.1.2. So as long as you keep it at, 2 or 99, it just depends on where the range is. Just FYI on that. So maximum number of users, I'm just gonna leave it at default. Of course, DNS, DNS2, DNS3, we're good there. So now that we have all this info, let's go ahead and move on to router number 2. Okay, so how I usually configure this router, so this is of course the secondary router, is I don't connect it to the network or anything whatsoever. So right now it's just connected to power. No network connections going into a switch or even, of course, your main router. Now, what I usually do is I just get a regular, Ethernet cable, connect it to the LAN portion. You do not want to connect it to the WAN portion, okay? So just connect it to LAN, any port will do, and then connect directly to your actual computer. So the main reason why I don't connect it to my pre-existing network is because, keep in mind, this router most likely has DHCP enabled, and it's going to be throwing out IP addresses. So just to make sure that, because that's one of the things, we need to turn off DHCP on this one because we only want one DHCP server running, and that's going to be the main router. So for right now, just go ahead and connect it directly to your computer. If you're having issues, actually trying to connect to this router, because most likely it's going to also give you like a 192.168.1.1 address. One of the things that you can do is inside of the command line, you can actually just do IP config space / release. Now this command will just go right ahead and release the IP address. So if the computer still thinks it's on this network, you could go right ahead and release it that way. And we could just hit, IP config, same thing, / and then renew. All right, once that command technically finishes, now you should actually see something a little bit different. So on the previous one, we did have a 192.168.1.126 address. Now we have a .1.2 address. So we already know, of course, we're already connected to this router. Now, keep in mind, for this demonstration, I already reset the router. I'm just gonna go ahead and log into it. So I did encounter some issues with this router. I don't know if you're gonna encounter the same issues, but it doesn't really like it if it doesn't have an internet connection. Now, with this router, I was able to actually configure it manually and not have this, of course, the router configure itself. So you're gonna actually have to configure this manually. So just FYI, if you encounter that issue, just try to configure it manually, and then I'll go right ahead and show you what you need to do next. All right, so I got into this router. Now, just like before, you just need to get that that default gateway. So of course, with this one, it was 192.168.1.1. Did the exact same thing, basically logged in. Now, here's where we need to make some changes. So the first thing is we need to go into the actual, you know what, actually, let's do the easy part first. Why not? Let's go into the Wi-Fi. And I'm just going to go ahead and change this real quick, just specifying that this is router 2. You could go right ahead and also change that information on yours. It doesn't have to be router 2. You can name it whatever you want. So go right ahead and do that right now. Hey, so this is me from the future. I just want to explain why I decided to give one router the name of router 1 and then the other one for router 2 for the Wi-Fi. Now, with these home routers, I've encountered that, the Wi-Fi routing isn't it really doesn't work. Now, let's just say if you actually go, you're near the main router and all of a sudden you start getting close to the, to the secondary, router access point, sometimes it doesn't really automatically switch to the strongest signal. So what I used to do is I used to cut technically kind of like, my house in half. So everything that was in front of the house, I would connect it to one Wi-Fi. And then everything behind the house, technically I would connect it to the other Wi-Fi. Anyways, I just want to explain why I did that. It's up to you. I mean, if you want to go right ahead and, give it the same SSID wireless name, that's fine. I mean, if it's going to be so far away from the main access point, then you won't have any issues. All right, so we got that changed. Now, here's where the main thing is going to happen. So we need to look for that local network. Now, if I believe this actually, let's see, we can probably go into the setup wizard. Well, in this router. And then we just do no, I want to configure the router myself. Hit next. And there we go. So that would be the LAN setup. All right, cool. So like we said, main router, what IP address was it? It was 192.168.1.1. Now, we can't give it the exact same IP address. So remember when we had that little startup, start IP address little table? So it was going to be from 192.168.1.100 until, was it 150. So this one, we specified that we were going to do 2 because it's not inside of the pool, or this IP address isn't inside of the pool. So we'll just hit 2. Subnet mask, we're going to keep it the same, just like the other one, 255, 255, 255. Now, here we go. So remember that this one has a DHCP server, or I should say the main router. Now, here we can see that, of course, this one is also enabled. We don't want that to be enabled. We want to disable it because we don't want two DHCP servers sending out IP addresses, out there. We just want one. So we're going to go ahead and unselect this. We don't need to change anything here. Just leave it as is. And we're going to hit apply. All right, so this portion I'm just going to go ahead and include just in case if you forgot to do something, or you're trying to change, go back into the router and make some changes. Now, because we turned off the HCP, that means that the your computer won't be able to get an IP address. But that's fine, because what you can do is you can set up a static IP address in your computer. So to do this, you actually need to go into the Ethernet properties. So just go into the Internet Protocol version 4, IPv4, hit properties. And then here, all you just got to do is just give it, an IP address inside of that range. So 192.168.1. Let's just give it 3, And of course, subnet mask, just 255.255.255. The gateway, you really don't need to specify it, but I'll just specify it here. So we'll just do 1.1. So I should say, so this is just if you need to actually get into the router before you deploy it. I strongly recommend that, if you once you do the changes, just go back here and just do obtain IP address automatically. All right, so at this point, let's go ahead and, try to access 1.2. There it is. It's asking for a password. And bam, you're in the router once again. So even though it doesn't have a DHCP server, you're in. So that's technically the end of this small little what if you need to go back in there. So, okay, so let's go ahead and deploy this out. I have this main router, of course, going. So everything's already connected. Now, I just want to show you a couple of things. So since this is just a lab to show you what to do, of course, this isn't really connected to the internet. But of course, this is actually connected directly to the wall. Like I said, I mean, if you don't have, an Ethernet cable or anything like that, going to the other side of the house, you can actually use a power line. But for right now, so this is technically connected to LAN, to the port 1. And this will actually go directly to the other router, which would be router number 2 that we're going to go right ahead and expand the Wi-Fi. Don't see the mess. Don't see the mess. Whatever we do, don't see the mess. No. All right. All right. So over here we have everything connected. Like I said, you don't want to. In this one, you do not want to connect the cable to WAN. Okay, because if you start connecting it to WAN, you'll get a different IP address and. Yeah, you just want to keep everything uniform to have it in the same network. In this one, you can just technically plug it into any of the 4 ports. And yeah, that's technically it. So that is the end of that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, just show you exactly how everything is interconnected. Routers are deployed, everything is good. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, so you do see router 1 and router 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect and see, just double check everything is communicating correctly. Okay, so I'm doing a ping sweep right now. So you're able to see that, of course, the Linksys router, of course, 192.168.1.1. And then you're also able to see the Netgear router that we set 192.168.1.2. And of course, you have, of course, my phone that's connected. So there we go. I mean, that is a simple way to, technically, if you have one of these other routers, and it doesn't have to be like a new router. If you have an old router, you could just go ahead and set it up like this and then deploy it out, out in your house. Alrighty, everybody. Well, sorry if I was rambling too much and all this other stuff. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and we will catch you on the next one.